welcome to Trek Retrek episode 6.
Oh no,
7.
we're off to a great start, guys.
Yeah. On here on the Geek the F Out channel, I'm Captain Johnny,
I'm Ensign Kayla.
and we're here to talk about what are little girls made of, Ensign Kayla.
I don't know, but I hate that title. And after watching it, it makes no sense. Did you figure out did it make sense to you, or am I stupid and just like
I kind
of
of and then there was also stuff on Memory Alpha about why they named it this. I don't know if I put that in my episode trivia or not. Let me look.
Okay.
Did I cover that? I did not, but I can pull it up and we'll talk about it.
Okay. Do you want to start with the summary?
Yes. So TVGuide.com says Kirk finds the long missing. I can talk, I promise. Kirk finds the long missing Dr. Corby still alive on a frigid planet, where Kirk becomes a guinea pig in Corby's mad experiment to create a civilization of obedient androids.
Yep. That pretty much covered it.
So it's interesting because so at the end of the episode, we use the IMDb description to summarize what we're going to watch next. And then at the beginning of the episode, we use the TVGuide.com one. In comparison, it's very different on IMDb. IMDb says Nurse Chapel is reunited with her fiance, but his new obsession leads him to make an android duplicate of Captain Kirk. It's a very interesting... They're both right.
Yes.
But they're worded in such different ways. I just found it interesting. I don't know where the descriptions are coming from.
I feel like they could also be used in many other episodes, like, a couple of the others that we've already watched where there's clones. But shall we get into it? The nitty-gritty?
Sure.
Go ahead.
The very first thing that I noticed on the bridge when they're talking about, what's going on, the turbo lift opens and a yeoman comes in carrying a tray with 4 cups on it. 4 of the cups on the tray.
I didn't
opening
notice
scene.
This. Oh my god. I keep trying to look for them. How, and like right off the bat too? How did I miss this? This makes me so sad.
I don't know.
So sad.
I was like, cups on tray, ! Because I just thought it was funny. I don't think we talked about cups last episode, or there weren't any in it.
Yeah,
but,
there weren't.
They're back. The cups are back this episode.
They're back, baby. Back with a vengeance right off the bat.
Yep. And we're on another freezing planet. This is like the 3rd freezing planet we've seen in the first 7 episodes.
Which
so that's something.
I did have a note about that, how they were okay though when they went down. They didn't have to like wear any different clothes. It literally said it was like 100 below zero.
Yeah.
But they were fine.
Well, so when they land, they're in the caverns. If you look,
but it looked like they're at the surface.
But, and I noticed it at the last minute.
Okay.
You can see a reflection of Kirk and Chapel behind them. So there's like a plexiglass screen there, and I think it's supposed to be like a force field that's keeping the temperature controlled, so they're not actually exposed to the freezing temperatures.
Sure, Jan. Sure. We'll go with that. That makes slightly more sense. I don't know. Go ahead.
On the bridge, when Corby is talking about when he's calling back to the Enterprise, and he calls back like 3 times, like, Enterprise, this is Corby, are you there? Enterprise, standing by. Enterprise. Like, guys, answer him. You've been trying so long to get a hold of him, and you're all
Yeah,
just like, he's down there. What now? What do we do? But it got very dramatic all of a sudden. Like the lights went down
I
and they
know.
closed up, did a close up on Kirk's face with the lighting across the eyes.
Yep,
And I was like, that's
yep.
very dramatic all of a sudden.
They really did a lot of dramatic bits like that throughout the episode. Dramatic music, dramatic shots like that, yeah, close-ups, lighting. There was a lot of extraness in this episode. That is for sure.
What do you have next?
Uh-oh.
We're good.
Okay.
It's a glitch in the system. It's okay. Subspace signal
Um,
was lost for a second.
yeah.
Keep going.
Um, yeah. She just completely ignores his comment about giving up research right away. Did you notice that? Christine
No,
does.
what was the
Kirk makes a comment saying like, "Oh, you gave up doing your research to be on this starship,"
Oh.
and she
Oh,
just kind of
yeah.
ignores him, says something else, and then a very similar situation happens like right after that with Kirk and Spock, where Spock just doesn't answer Kirk's question too, but it was kind of like it was when Kirk was like asking if he was still alive, so I kind of got why he didn't answer it because Christine was there, but at the same
Yeah.
time, it just those two scenes being right next to each other really emphasized the non-answers.
Yeah,
um,
now that you say that, I did notice it, like, he said something to Christine about the research, and then she just completely changed the subject and
yeah,
talked about something different.
yeah,
And yeah, Kirk was like, "Could he still be alive?" And Spock's like, "Are you fucking crazy?
yeah.
How?" He just didn't wanna say it out loud.
I think he just didn't wanna say it. Um, for Spock's makeup watch, I said it isn't bad.
Oh.
There's less of a smoky eye. They did a pretty good job this episode. Uh, Ahura still has her neon green hoops, which is
Mhm.
funny because when we just watched the premiere episode about the man trap, and I was like, "I didn't see those hoops," and now I, like, can't not see them every
Yeah.
time. Um, at one point, I think when they're talking to, Roger, there's a guy behind them, and it's like a one-piece kinda suit, and I was like, "Is that a robe? It looks like he's wearing a robe."
I didn't notice that, but I have the same note because those 2 in the background, the dude's like, "Ew, gross." Like, and there's a woman next to him, and she's like, "Oh, that's so sweet. They're reunited." It's just 2
Yeah,
completely different reactions, and
yeah,
it cracked me up. Dude's like, "That's lame," and the girl's like,
yeah,
"Aw."
I know.
But I didn't notice the
Um,
robe.
yeah,
I think
he
they're the coveralls, like the guys who you typically see coming out of, you know how they have the angled tubes in the wall sometimes that have ladders that the, like, workmen are
yes,
crawling out of?
yes.
Typically, they come out wearing that, like, that kinda jumpsuit, so I think that's what
Yeah,
it was.
I figured
Those
it
are
was something
those are
like that.
Jeffries tubes.
Okay. I figured it
They
was
have a name.
something like that. Of course, they have a name. But, yeah, it was just, like, some kind of, like, onesie suit, but it was very loose, and it was, I think, just that robe, bluish grayish color. I was just like, "Oh, it looks like a robe." Um, also, when they were like, "Oh, is that his voice?" She was like, "Have you ever been engaged, Mr. Spock?" I'm like, "What difference does it make if you've been engaged with someone or not? If you like, you could know someone, like, it could be a family member and you know their voice." I was like, "What difference does
Yeah.
being engaged to someone make?" But also, it's funny because she knows Spock and the fact that he doesn't really have emotions, so
Yeah.
she already knows the answer. Um, so I just thought that was funny. But another part to that is you would think by now, with all the crazy stuff they've encountered, that they would think, oh, maybe it's someone mimicking his voice or, not him.
Right.
Um, yeah, so I found that interesting that they didn't question that at all. Um, and then my last bit about uh this or actually, I have one more after this. Ahura's butt cheeks are just fully out. There's, like, a low angle shot of her, which, yes, it's, like, slightly low angle, but at the same time, butt. Like, half of her butt is out.
Yep.
Um, like, I think if it was a higher shot, you would probably still see it. So,
It's those weird bikini bottom skirt part
yes.
of the uniform that they're wearing.
Mhm.
There's some other stuff like that that I made notes of for later.
Mhm.
Um, I think part of the reason why it's so noticeable here, like you said, it's a lower angle shot, because that back section of the bridge is raised.
Yeah.
There's like a step down to where the captain's chair is. So
Yeah.
it's more noticeable when the camera's on the lower level than when it's
Mhm.
up higher. Um,
Definitely.
but yes, yeah.
But
I mean, I'm not
yeah,
complaining,
I was gonna say
but
I'm not
yeah.
complaining either. She has a nice butt. Yeah, my last bit about like, first couple scenes before they go down, LOL, on the planet, is where's Scotty?
We'll cover that. That's in our episode trivia section.
Alright. Okay, moving on. What's
Um,
your
I
next
have
comment? Because I know what mine is.
I have two more things on the bridge before
Oh,
they
okay.
beam down to the planet. Um, Kirk's shirt is a much lighter yellow, almost the green. Remember a couple episodes ago, I forget which one it was, that we were talking about the colors of the uniforms and the difference, trying to find three different hues that would still be distinct on black and white TVs.
Yeah.
In this one, parts of his uniform are much lighter yellow, especially when the other woman is in the background with that guy in the coveralls, because she's in the same, and it looks much
Robe.
the robe. It's much more of that gold color
Mhm.
when she's in the background. And I'm looking at it because Kirk's like front, and it has to do with the lighting and the material, I'm sure.
Yeah.
His chest is like a lighter yellow, almost green, but his cuff on the arm of the chair is a much darker, almost the gold. So it's weird. I don't know why I notice, but I do. And
I think
then
I did notice that the cuffs were pretty gold on my last watch, so I'd agree
and
with
then
that.
as they're leaving the bridge, like Chapel walks by Ahura and they just like give each other a kiss on the cheek and hug before she leaves.
How am I not remembering
Did you
this?
not notice that?
No? Maybe it was when I
Um,
looked
I
away
had to go
every
back
time
and
I
rewatch
watched
because
this.
I had to go back and rewatch because I thought they gave each other a kiss on the mouth, but it was like
Mm.
turn your face to the side and kiss on the
Yeah.
cheeks.
Yeah.
They haven't established, but again, we've talked about some of the stuff with the way things work in this much more episodic style of. They haven't established any previous friendship or relationship
No.
between Uhura and Chapel, but apparently they're friendly.
Friends,
They hang out.
friendly, acquaintances, kiss each other on the cheek, friends.
I get
I
what they're
don't know.
trying to portray. Like Uhura's happy for her because Chapel's going to
Mhm.
be reunited with her fiance, who she apparently hasn't seen in 5 years. Um,
Reunited and it feels so good.
that's everything I have before we go down to the planet.
Okay. I think I need to make this statement. The first thing I have when we go down the planet is look at those phallic stalagmites or ice sculptures. I don't know what they're are they supposed to be? Is it supposed to be stone or ice?
That's a good question. Because my note for this is the cavern looks like it's made out of like popcorn ceiling,
Yeah.
like the entire cavern.
Yep.
And again, I know it's probably one of those things that I'm kind of curious. I'd like to take some of these episodes and run them through like a downscaler and a CRT filter to see, because
Hmm.
I don't have a CRTV handy, uh, to
I
see
don't
what
even
they
know what that
look
is.
like. The tube TVs,
Oh, okay.
cathode
Yeah.
ray tubes, the older
Yep.
televisions, what they
Yep.
would have been played on when they aired.
Yeah.
Because I bet you lose a lot of the detail that makes them look like they're just like popcorn ceiling.
Yeah.
So it probably looks more smooth and craggy and like
Mhm.
natural rock formation than it does they took a can of fake snow and like sprayed it all over whatever their set dressing was.
Yeah, because there is, like, caves and caverns that look like that too, especially with the stalagmites and stalactites. Do you know which one's which?
I don't remember. I know there's a trick, like, but I can never remember which
Yes.
one grows up and which one grows down.
So stalactites have to hang on tight, so they hang from the
Okay,
ceiling. And
gotcha.
then stalagmite, there used to be an M thing, but if you got one, then you're good.
Yeah, yeah,
It took me a second to remember too. I was a geology major, so I should know this, but it took me a second and I was like, "Oh yeah, yeah, that's my little thing that I say." But yeah, there are some that do like have that bubbly look to them. I don't know if it's that extensive where it's like the walls and stuff too, but yeah, it was very popcorn looking.
and it's funny because it's clearly been worked too. Because there's some
Mhm.
areas where it's like 90-degree angle door frame,
Yeah.
and then the rest of it just looks like cavern. But there's very
Yeah.
clear like 90-degree angle doors.
Yep. Yep. That are very flimsy automatic doors, as we'll find out later.
Yeah.
Um, oh, my next note is when they meet Brownie, LOL. The dramatic face lighting again and music.
Right.
And they just like zoomed in on his face.
Um. Yeah. Before they meet him, this is what when you were talking about a whore's butt. There's a very and I like
Oh
what can
yeah.
you do with those costumes in that uniform? But that is a straight upskirt shot of
Yep. I
Chapel
saw that
when
too.
they're on the edge. Um,
Nope, don't think I didn't see that. I saw that. Which I it was the same thing. I was like, they're definitely like it's like a skirt thing where there's like a built-in underwear essentially with it, kind of like
yeah.
cheerleader skirts, like how they have built in.
Oh, is that how they
Same,
are?
same.
I don't have a
Yes.
ton of experience
Or
with
they'll wear
cheerleader
just
skirts.
like a thicker white underwear. I'm not gonna say the P word. I hate that word so much.
Um,
The other couple of P words I like better, but
so it's more like swim bottoms. Like there's lots of swim
yes,
bottoms that have like a skirt attached at the waist. Like
essentially.
that's similar to what I'm thinking. It
Mhm.
is.
Yeah,
Um,
that's pretty much what it is. So, yes, I saw the upskirt. Moving on.
they beam down Rayburn and Matthews, our first official red shirts, security guards who just
You got their names.
gone.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. By this lurch creature
So
who's
I
literally played by
discovered.
Lurch.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. When I have Lurch question mark, and it is. It's the same actor.
I did the same thing. I was like, "Lurch," and then when I finished the episode, I went back and looked, and I was like, "Oh my god, it's Lurch." But I don't know if you watch Umbrella Academy, but it reminded me of,
Love
Luther
Umbrella
too,
Academy.
because he's so, like,
Yeah,
bulky, and it's
yeah,
just
because like the
so
obviously
off-putting looking.
we see Lurch in the Adams Family. He's tall, but he's pretty thin.
Yeah,
He's not a
skinny
bulky
boy.
guy. They've got him all sorts of like pillows under his.
Like, double
He's got a
bulked out,
muscle
and then
suit
there's,
on.
like, a midsection that's clearly separated. Like, yeah. It's quite funny. So, yeah, Lurch is in this, guys.
Yep.
Let's see. My next oh, yeah, I said just randomly falls. Like, I just thought
Oh
he
yeah.
fell, and then we
Yeah.
saw the guy. And that's
Yep.
when I also put, "Who's this green-faced, broad-shouldered dude?" Because it kinda looked more green at first. Um, and then when Brownie was like, "Unfortunate," about him
Yeah.
dying, I was
It's like.
It
What a
relates
shame.
perfectly to the meme that I did later, I will
Yeah.
say. Um, okay. Anything else before we get to Andrea?
No. Nope.
My first comment is, "What is this X-shaped dress?" God damn it. "What is this X-shaped dress?" Sweating a face emoji. Because
um
hot damn.
it's
Hot
like
damn.
the 23rd century equivalent of like coveralls. I'm
It's just like
pretty
an
sure
X.
I have that outfit
You
for my
do?
character on Star Trek Online, because um, they have an outfit box. It's both Andrea's outfit and then like the jumpsuit that Kirk and Corby wear, the green and blue
Yep.
coverall.
Yep.
Is like the men get coveralls. Again, I'm not complaining, but the men get coveralls, and the one female android is like just the the parts that would not be able to be aired on TV are covered.
Yep. That's it. That's all that's covered. And they have the stereotypical of the time, the pointy boobs. The pointy boobs.
Yeah, it was pretty noticeable with Christine's nurse top in this episode too, that they had like the cone shaped
Mhm.
bra. Uh,
Yeah.
what's
So
the word I
sad.
want to use? Like the cone shaped
I don't know.
form, foundation, whatever you want to call it. The word is escaping me. But yeah,
I don't know what you're trying to say. But okay.
anyway.
I know what you
Uh,
mean.
but yeah, so Andrea walks in wearing that, and just Chapel's just looking at her like, who this tramp?
So jelly. Instantly so jelly, so suspicious. She's like, "Excuse me, this hottie von hot hot is here with my fiance. I don't like this." Like instant bad vibes from her. um I think my next Oh, when they were reunited, I said, "Oh god, weird makeout scene." And I was like, "What?" And it's when Roger and Christina reunited in that very stereotypical old style makeout where they just open their mouths and put them on each other and just move around a lot.
Yeah,
I will never understand it because I'm like, did people actually kiss like that?
I don't, I don't think so. It's,
So weird.
I think it's
Oh,
similar to.
sorry.
It's okay. It's similar to like we were saying, somebody said in the chat on the premiere, like a lot of these people came from stage experience, and you have to be real exaggerated in the theater to be able to have the back row pick up like what's going on stage. And some of them are like, that's Shatner, and I think we might have talked about this before. Shatner's background was in theater, and that's why some of his stuff is so exaggerated. And they're only
Mm,
like a certain I we're only 7 episodes into the series. I don't know when this one was filmed. uh so there's still like might be actors getting used to television and not having to be so exaggerated.
mhm. Hmm. Yeah, I do not know. Yeah, that makes sense now with Kirk. I forgot about that. And his dramatic acting. um I guess cuz I was thinking makeout, I put Rux makeout keeps changing, but I meant makeup. Like I mean, that's a really hard look to repeat many times
Yeah, with the
nowadays.
way they had the purple
The
like on the
line.
cheeks. Yeah.
Yeah.
um
Um
and again, I think it's one of those things on the older TVs. It's not like, because it looked very defined lines
mhm.
that probably blend a little more on an older television in a
Mhm.
lower resolution. Um,
Mhm.
then I had to laugh because there's the part where he says the old ones. Uh, because Matt Colville is a YouTuber who does like Dungeons and Dragons videos, and
Uh-huh.
I remember one video where he was talking about the old ones, and he said it pretty much
Uh,
just like that. And I was like, I think this is where that's referenced to.
Oh, maybe. It stood out quite a bit, so I could see that. Um, Ruck throwing Kirk. I don't know if I'm getting ahead of your notes, but it's so
um,
awkward and so weird. Both times when he threw him up against the wall, and then also when he throws him, is just very
I
very
think you did,
choreographed, very choppy and awkward.
but we are a little bit ahead of me,
Okay.
but I can go back. I do have that. I wrote down Ruckus Strunk because
Yeah.
like he just lifted Kirk up like he was a 6-year-old child.
Yes. He was
Um,
nothing. Absolutely nothing. Sorry, go ahead.
but yeah,
Go back.
um, I just had to laugh at when Corby was explaining about Andrea. She has her skin feels like skin. She even has a pulse and warmth. And
Yeah.
Christine's like, how convenient.
Yep. I love that line. I think I put that in the lines later, so maybe that's why I don't have it here. But yeah, that was that was
And
hilarious.
then I think it was the same scene. He says something about something about loving a machine, and she's like, "Did you?"
Yeah. She
um,
she just straight up asked him. I love her for it.
and then he tells Andrea to kiss Kirk,
Mhm.
and then tells her to slap him. And the look on Kirk's face, I'm like, did Kirk just find a new kink?
Yeah. Which also I was like, I still don't understand the point of doing that. It was kind of pointless, but
He was trying to
Kirk has to make out with someone in every episode.
he was trying to display that Andrea doesn't have any emotions, but even if she did, if she's subservient to her creator, um, she's gonna follow his instructions and kiss a stranger and slap a stranger without caring one way or the other.
Exactly.
But I get what they were going for, yeah.
Sure. Sure, Jan.
But yeah, that kiss and slap looks like it might have awakened something in Kirk.
Yeah. He's like, "Ooh, I like this. Slap me again." Okay. My next scene or my next notes are about the androiding, cloning
Yeah,
androiding.
yeah,
Are you
naked Kirk.
there too? Naked, yes, naked Kirk, and I said, "Well, I mean, you can't obviously see everything," so I just said, "Shirtless Kirk strikes again." So either he has to make out with someone or he has to be shirtless in most episodes. Not every episode.
Or have his shirt half ripped,
Yeah,
because
just
that happens.
some chestal exposure needs to happen for him.
Chestal exposure.
And then I immediately put in all caps, "Oh boy, not another clone." This is what, the third time? Specifically Kirk too,
Yes.
right?
Um, yeah, but they did it in a much different way with this one. And I was thinking about that. Despite the fact that it's a repeated trope again, we're seeing a lot of repeat tropes in these first 7 episodes. They did it in a
Yep,
different manner than they did
they
with
did.
Enemy Within, or what was the other imposter Kirk episode? Well, it wasn't Kirk. It was um, the Salt Vampire.
Yes.
But yeah, this is
Yeah.
another imposter
Yes.
trope session.
Other and this one isn't a shapeshifter, it's an android, which they literally
Right.
took styrofoam, just like your cups, and turned it into this thing with mechanical parts inside of it. Or was that underneath the styrofoam? I, yeah, go ahead.
I feel like the implication is that the actual like robotics of the android, like all the circuits and
Mhm.
the gears and skeleton and whatnot, are under that like foam mixture,
Mhm.
and then they put them on this essentially this centrifuge machine and spin it to make the copy. But yeah, I feel like it's not just
Okay.
a slab of foam. There's
Okay.
my uh theory is that there are android parts underneath that coating that then gets
Yeah.
turned into the flesh.
Okay. That makes more sense.
Yeah.
Take styrofoam, make Android somehow. um, my next note is watch carefully. Like you can watch when it that carefully when it's moving that fast.
Right.
So stupid. Oh Roger. Any other notes from this scene?
um I thought Kirk's plan was really clever, because he listened to Corby saying it's copying his thoughts, so he starts like reciting to himself the thing about uh,
Spock
Spock
being a
and
half breed.
being a half breed in interference, so that hoping that it will stick in
That's what he
the
was
copy's mind during
doing.
the transfer, so that he would say it. Yeah,
Oh my god, that makes so much more sense now because later when he's like, "I hope Spock got my message."
yeah,
Um, okay, that makes more sense. I
because
was like, "Did I miss some message somewhere?"
Spock knows that Kirk would never act that way,
No. Never, ever,
and
ever.
then act like nothing happened.
Yeah.
So it was kind of like a hypnotic slash subconscious suggestion that Kirk buried in his memories when the memory transfer was happening. That's how I took it.
Okay. That makes a lot more sense now because I thought he was trying to telepathically communicate with Spock at first when I first
Mm,
watched it, and I was like, "Oh, just kidding. That's not what's happening."
yeah.
Okay, that makes a lot more sense. That is very clever. Um, Also, I think it was in the same scene when, Christine was saying how, "Oh, you weren't like this, like, when I was in your class," and I was like, "Were you his student?"
Yeah, apparently professor student relationship. Kinda inappropriate.
Like,
Power
it
dynamics
seems
and
like
whatnot.
there's a age difference between them, but,
Yeah.
like, maybe it was grad school or something, but still not good.
Yeah, it's hard to say. I mean, the
Yeah.
age difference is whatever, right? Like people
Ye
are people. If you're, mature enough to make your own decisions, if you're an adult, you can
Yes.
decide that you're gonna get involved with someone older or someone younger. Uh,
Mhm.
but the power dynamics of a student teacher relationship,
Yep.
uh, but they don't say that like the relationship happened while she was in her class, just that she took his class. It might have happened after she graduated and they weren't, didn't have that official relationship anymore as
Yeah.
teacher and student.
And another thing I thought of was, she could have just sat in on one of his classes
Yeah,
just for
that's
fun.
possible too.
But yeah, let's hope she wasn't in his class. Makes it very sticky. Um, oh, when he's spinning around, when it slows down, did you see what I saw?
Yeah, he's wearing like a speedo, like a flesh colored speedo.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm glad it was a Speedo. Because I was like, is that Kirk's balls?
No, no, it looked like a flesh colored speedo to
I
me.
figured. I was like, they're too perfect looking. Can't be real. Can't be real balls. Anyways.
Also, wouldn't have flown on national, or well, on broadcast
I
television.
mean, I
Uh,
figured.
but
I just thought it was funny. Um, Okay, my next note is from the Kirk versus Ruck scene, so if you have anything before that.
Uh, the 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 bit where they talk about Corby basically reveals like the plan is immortality,
Mhm.
which just for some reason the first thing that popped into my head was like San Junipero from Black Mirror. Um,
Ah, love that episode.
but in a different manner, and it's a trope that's been done throughout sci-fi for years.
Yeah,
But yeah,
and,
taking your consciousness and putting it into an android body to achieve immortality. I mean, at least immortality in the sense that you won't age and die, but like your
yeah,
robot body is not invulnerable. You could still be destroyed in an accident or something.
yeah. I mean, similar to Upload, but Upload, they don't have bodies, so maybe
Yeah,
not.
and I'd upload the Amazon show.
Mhm.
Yeah,
But yeah,
yeah.
Black Mirror, I mean, a lot of things in Black Mirror. Um, let's see, yeah, anything else before the that
Nothing else
fight?
before the styrofoam penis.
I said, "Dildo stalactite, LOLOL." Like, how did no
As
one.
everybody has seen the thumbnail, because we have already decided. Like I'm nowhere close to editing this yet, and we already know that that's the
Yes.
thumbnail.
Because at first I was like, "Dildo stalagmites" at the beginning, and then
Yeah,
I kinda watched the first part and then took a break and then finished the last part last night, and then I've watched several times since. Um, and I was like, the first one, I was like, "This needs to be it," and then when I got to the dildo stalagmite or
you
stalactite
even
scene, I was like, "This
you
needs to be the thumbnail."
You even
Absolutely.
texted me about the first one. You're
Yeah.
like, "This has to be the thumbnail."
Yes.
And then when I saw that, I texted you and I'm like, "No, this has to be the
Yes.
thumbnail." And you're like, "Wait, did I text you about this?" Because we were both
Yeah.
like, "This needs to be the
Because
thumbnail."
because I was trying so hard last night to take a picture or video or screenshot, and I was struggling so hard and end up with nothing, and so I thought with all of that, I might have sent it, and, apparently I didn't.
Nope,
But, we both thought the same thing, and that is our thumbnail, and we're sticking to it.
absolutely.
Mhm.
I don't think anybody else could suggest a better one.
No, absolutely not. It is the best. The best. When he falls though, I noticed something that you mentioned in the in the first episode. Kirk has healed booties.
The heels, yeah.
The healed booties. Did notice that. Um, my next note is when him or Rucker in the room and he's like thrown on the bed with no mattress. I don't know if you noticed
Yeah,
that.
yeah.
Which I think the first room they went into, did it have a bed in it, or was it just, like, tables and, like, a couch and stuff?
Yeah, I think it
Because I
was just
was
a living and dining area.
Yeah, because I was like, if there was a bed in there and they didn't see a mattress, maybe that's a clue that something is up here, that they just sleep on wooden platforms.
Oh, yeah, yeah. I didn't even think about that, but yeah,
Yeah, that took me
not a
several
neat.
times through to notice and think of.
Mhm.
Um, go ahead.
Then I have the half breed interference line, so I think that's when the fake Kirk is on the ship,
Mm,
and says the line to Spock,
yes.
uh, which Spock immediately is like, "Huh," like he knows something's up
Yeah, he does.
because then he immediately like calls for the security team to be sent down after the captain's there.
Yeah. It's a smart cookie. Smart cookie, that's Spock. Let's see. This must be when Kirk asked Andrea to kiss him again.
Hmm.
And like he grabs her, and there's literally like red marks on her arm from where he grabs her.
Yeah,
And I was like, damn, okay. Little intense there, Kirky. I don't think you need
I
to go
didn't.
that hard.
Uh, I didn't put this in the facts, but I saw it on Memory Alpha.
Mhm.
Uh, the actress in an interview, apparently he really kissed her. Like,
Really kissed her.
yeah.
I mean, it looked
Uh,
like it. And also, what's the difference between really kissing and the other kissing scenes? Like, he put passion behind it?
yeah, it says in 1998, Sci-Fi Channel aired all the Star Trek original series episodes in their complete non-syndicated format. Because when they send these out for syndication, they cut unnecessary stuff so they can put more advertisements in the episode.
Mhm.
Um, and they added interviews from some of the series stars, guest stars, and production people called Star Trek Insights. Sherry Jackson said in her interview regarding the scene when Kirk kisses Andrea, quote, "I must say, when he kissed me on screen, he really kissed me." End quote. In the same interview, Jackson said that William Shatner's chest had to be shaved for his nude scenes in the android machine.
Of course, they're always shaved. No such thing as chest hair on TV.
It's weird. So it's weird to me because I grew up. This is way off topic, but I grew up watching professional wrestling. So
Yeah.
I'm so used to seeing like big muscular men, no chest hair, no armpit hair, no leg
Uh,
hair. Like they shave
they shave their armpits
everything.
and legs?
A
I did
lot of
not
them
know
do.
this.
Some of
It's like
them don't, but a
swimmers or
lot of them
water
do.
polo
Yeah,
players
their legs are shaved, their armpits are shaved.
and
I
runners.
think it's less there's more wrestlers now who won't bother, but
Mhm.
if you go back and look at and there's some wrestlers who the fact that they were really hairy was kind of their look. Like there's a wrestler named Dirty
Mm.
Dutch Mantel, dude wore a sweater of his own hair and he was a heel. Like the heels, the bad guys were like the disgusting ones who didn't shave.
Sweater?
I mean, that's basically what it was. Dude is
Oh,
hairy.
okay. Like Robin Williams
Um,
Harry?
yeah, dude is a hairy man. Um, but that's the thing. Like all the baby faces, all the good guys were like no chest hair, no
Yeah,
leg hair, no armpit hair, and all the heels were like hairy chests and full beards and whatnot. Uh,
interesting.
yeah,
Interesting.
like if you look at Hulk Hogan, Ultimate Warrior, Randy Savage, they're all clean shaven everywhere but their face.
I was gonna say, definitely facial hair. At least I know with
Yeah,
Hulk Hogan.
Hogan and Savage. Yeah.
I don't know what
Um,
Savage looks like.
So yeah, the I don't bat an eye when I see like stuff like that where Kirk's chest doesn't have any hair or Sulu with no chest hair. Like
Mhm.
it's normal to me. I grew up watching shirtless dudes who didn't have any chest hair.
And
That sounds
it
really
is
strange when you say it that way.
very yeah. It is very normal too, and I think even for a long time, the only chest hair you would see is, like, if people had, like, minimum chest hair,
Hmm.
but if there was, like, a lot, like, they definitely would make them shave it or just, like, trim it at least. I feel like it's only recently on TV and movies that they're like, "Just do whatever your body hair is." Um,
Hmm.
which I love, trying to be more body positive because people don't normally have no body hair. Like,
Yeah,
women, non-binary people, everyone included in that, like, body hair is very normal in all the places.
we are mammals.
Yes. Um,
So yeah,
y yeah,
that's where Kirk kisses her. And did you have anything more about that particular scene? Because I have stuff.
go for it.
It's where like she's getting into it and then she's like, no, I'm not programmed for you. And I literally wrote in my notes, she is a sex bot.
Yes. I mean, we already knew that, like, she's freaking hot as
But they
tits,
tried, yeah,
and
she's
she's wearing that outfit. Like, come
and
on.
wearing that outfit. Uh, but they tried to deny it all the way through. But then that I'm like, she's totally a sex bot. That like that's
Yeah.
what she was creating for.
Yes.
Uh,
Like, good try, Roger. We all know what was up there.
yeah.
Literally, we know what
We
was up
know
there.
what you're doing. You're not clever, Corby.
No, not at all. No cleverness had there. Um, Yeah, I don't know if it was in that scene. Is that when Ruck comes in when they're making out? No?
Yes, that's when he comes in and throws him on the bed.
Okay, yeah, it's because then I put cock block Ruck.
Yeah.
That
Yep.
checks out. That's the only other thing I have from that scene.
That's it. That's all I have until the end of the episode. So if you have anything
Okay.
else,
Um, I don't know why my screen keeps doing that. Um, I have the part where his arm was stuck in the sliding door.
yeah, I thought about that. At first, I thought it was like an error, like the guy, whoever's controlling the door, accidentally shut it on his arm. But then he pulls his
Mm,
arm out, and the and it had to have been done on purpose so that they could
yeah.
show that he was an android.
Which also you can literally see the door, like, moves. Like, it's just,
Yeah,
like, I don't know, something very lightweight. And I was like, "Okay, good try.
yeah.
Cute try." Um, then I have, such bad hand prosthetics that they use because it was just like a flap, which
Hmm.
granted, don't know how the androids really worked, so who knows if it was actually like that, but it was just, like, such a perfect, like, piece of skin that was, like, pulled back.
Yeah.
Um
I found this on the web.
Oh, it
Speaking of
literally
androids
oh my god,
and
it
artificial
literally
intelligence,
it's it searched skin flap. FBI, NSA, if you're listening, we're talking about Star Trek. I swear to God. Okay, anyways. Yeah, I think yeah, I think that was most of it because my next note is she just killed Android Kirk because he wouldn't kiss her. LOL, I'm dead.
yeah. Well, but and it's kind of ambiguous. Is that why she did it? Did she do it because I think she truly thought that it was actually Kirk,
I
and
think she did too.
he was like, she said, "Kiss me," and he was like, "No." So I mean, what do you do in that situation? You murder the person, clearly.
Totally. That is totally normal way to react to that.
You
I
you
mean,
end their
some
existence
some people do that
in
in
a
real life, so the
yeah,
incels.
uh, yeah,
Yeah, so that was funny. And then this is definitely like the last scene because I was like, is Roger glitching? Because he kept kind of repeating the same
yeah.
things.
I feel like the intention was that he was encountering things that he couldn't understand.
Mm.
Uh, and it's one of those things because he says earlier, like if you continue the process, you completely transfer your memories and your soul into the android. But
Hmm.
do you? Like you as if it is truly a full copy of your memories into that android body,
Yeah.
the android thinks it's you that it is the person that was copied.
Hmm.
It has all the same memories. So unless the android knows it's an android, it's going to think that it's that person.
Yeah.
Um,
I don't.
I think the longer process is probably just programming it to think that it is the person that was copied and the process murders the copy. What else do you have? Why else would you as a civilization have a machine that you put a person into and you get a duplicate to murder that person and install them as a spy in the government or organization that you're trying to infiltrate? I mean, come on.
Yeah. I was kind of confused because then it sounded like they wanted to eventually upload the soul too, so they hadn't done that, but they want to get to that point. But yeah, I was like, what really is the purpose of all this?
Yeah, it wasn't clear. Corby made it sound like just if you just let the thing continue going,
Mhm.
that happened. But
Mhm.
he's
Hmm.
very eager to get to a planet with resources that he can use. So maybe there's fuel or other things that they need for that machine to complete that process.
Yeah,
It's not
maybe.
clear, but it doesn't
Mm,
necessarily need to be. Um,
nah, it does not. Um, when she was saying "no protect" and then, like, moving, I was like, "This is great acting right now." "No protect, no protect." Um, and yeah, my last note is this is so anticlimactic, them just killing each other. And also them randomly killing Ruck too, or Roger killing him. Just like, "Bye."
yeah, that was like, so I understand that the phasers are powerful weapons, and if you put a phaser on the highest setting, it will disintegrate whatever it hits. That's
Mhm.
the point.
Mhm.
Um, but yeah, it was kind of surprising and anticlimactic that he's just like, nope, and erased Ruck from existence.
Yeah.
Uh,
Ruck goes, "Bye-bye."
1,000-year-old android.
Which, yes, who are these,
The
uh,
old
the
ones.
old ones, yes, that created him, and so they're the ones that had this technology
Hmm.
or, the resources at least
Yeah,
that
well, he
Roger
talked about
took?
it.
Yeah.
They made them and then started to the way he tells it, uh the androids started to, I guess, resent being perfect beings serving imperfect beings.
Yeah.
Um it
Didn't like
reminds
that.
me a little bit of Mass Effect and the Quarians and the Geth. Uh the Geth were spoilers if you haven't played Mass Effect. Um the
Okay.
Geth were automatons. They were basically robots, androids that were created to serve the Quarians. And
Mhm.
then one of the Geth asked a Quarian, "Does this unit have a soul?" You shouldn't have done that, because that led to the Quarians basically trying to eliminate the Geth, and the Geth
Yeah.
leaving, and the war between the Geth and the Quarians and whatnot. Um, yeah, don't ever, if you are a robot, pro tip, if you're a robot, do not ever ask your creator if you have a soul, because they will destroy you. What was it? There
Apparently.
was it a Rick and Morty episode where the same thing happened? Or was that something else? I'm vaguely remembering a show where there was a robot that was purchased for someone to just do stuff, and it started to like try to say no, like it wanted to go to school, it wanted to learn other things. I can't remember if that was a Rick and Morty episode or if it was something else. Tell
I'm
me in the
not
comments if you know what I'm talking about.
sure. Yeah. I was gonna say
Or in the chat. If you know, in the
Megan?
chat, tell future me.
Yeah,
No, it was
Megan was
this was
similar, but that's not that.
oh no, it was the Orville.
Oh,
It was the Orville. It was an episode of the Orville.
nice. Figured it
It
out.
was it was the Kalon and
Yeah.
shit, what's his name? Isaac's race. Isaac's race of robots. It was the origins of the Kalon in the Orville. I figured
Alright.
it out. It came back to me. It was not Rick and Morty. Um so what was the last thing? We were talking.
The end of the episode.
Yeah, basically. So
Very anticlimactic.
yeah, the
Just everyone
phaser just
dies.
immediately disintegrated Ruck, and then Andrea shot both
Well, didn't he
herself
put
and
his
yeah,
hand on it? Yeah. Okay,
he
that's what I
did it,
thought.
and somehow it disintegrated them both. The beam must have been wide enough that it hit both of them.
I was wondering that too. I was like, "That's interesting." But yeah, I get it.
Yeah.
Take it with a grain of salt. As always.
The yeah, the only other thing I have then is the essentially very last part of the episode, um, where Spock says, uh, he was dismayed about Kirk's use of the term half breed because it was unsophisticated.
Mhm.
I just thought that was funny.
Yeah.
Like,
There's
Spock's feelings weren't hurt. He was disappointed in Kirk.
Yeah. I have this in line/moments, but it's not really that important. But when Kirk's like, "I'll remember that next time I find myself in a similar situation of
Yeah,
getting cloned," I was like, "Well, it'll probably happen
it,
again because this is
it'll
like the
probably
third
happen again.
time." So I found that very ironic. Overall, though, I think actually covered
Yeah, we
everything.
did. There was a
Um,
lot. We
yeah,
we
there's a
covered a
lot.
lot this episode.
Yeah, it was Lurch. That's it. It was Lurch. Very
What, that
excited
was
about that.
your favorite line and moment was Lurch?
No. Um, the lines, I think I mentioned most of these. Have you ever been engaged, Mr. Spock? That was funny.
Yeah,
This one, to maintain your existence would be illogical. I don't know, that
yeah,
line just really stood out to me. And then the line I just said that Kirk said. My favorite moment, of course, is the dildo fight.
yeah.
Near and dear to my heart.
I
Like
mean,
what can top a dildo fight?
I'm with you. Nothing. Uh,
It's
nothing can
hard
top
to
a
beat.
dildo fight. It's like, oh shit, the Saints Row the Third had the purple dildo baseball bat weapon, the penetrator.
The what? What? The third?
The Saints Row the Third. It's a video game. One of the
Oh,
weapons was a big purple dildo the size of a baseball bat, and it was called the penetrator.
amazing. I love that. I mean,
Um,
they pretty much use them in Everything Everywhere All at Once as well as butt plugs
yeah.
too as weapons. So
Um, yeah. My
they
favorite
can be
moment
used
was
as
also
weapons.
yeah. My favorite moment also was the styrofoam penis. Um, and yeah, I covered the lines that stuck out to me. The old ones, the
Mm-hmm.
ones who made us, which doesn't really stick out to me because of the episode, but because Matt Colville referenced it in one of his videos. And then Chapel's how convenient.
Yes. And the what was the line again? I need to find it. I mentioned it earlier when he fell. Unfortunate.
How
There we go.
unfortunate.
Yeah. Anyways, moving on.
Yeah. So do we want to do that's what they said?
Yes, let's do it. Do you want to go first?
I can.
I think I went first last time.
I don't recall, but so here's our that's what they said for this episode. Won't be much longer.
That's an unusual request.
However, there will be two of us.
I am now programmed to please you also.
Please go ahead and eat.
One at a time, gentlemen.
Eating is a pleasure.
You will not disobey her orders.
Satisfied, Captain Kirk?
Now, shall we start with Andrea?
Yes. Let's start with Andrea.
Watch carefully.
Does this make such a difference?
Beautiful.
Love it.
So good. Yeah, there was a bunch of good ones. Um,
Um,
Trivia.
Trivia from Memory Alpha. Let me pull up my notes. So, Memory Alpha, again, is the largest, to my knowledge. I don't think there's a bigger one. It's the biggest Star Trek fan wiki. It's not official, but it's the biggest Star Trek wiki on the internet.
We like the biggest.
Um, the script of this episode was in such a bad shape that Gene Roddenberry had to make revisions simultaneously with the filming of the episode, and shooting had to wait until new pages arrived. Um, which I thought was interesting because we'll talk about, I think we'll address that when we get to rating it, but just keep that little tidbit in mind.
Mm-hmm.
Uh,
Okay.
this is the only episode that prominently features Nurse Chapel. In Robert Bloch's original script, Blotches, it's Bloch. I don't know how you pronounce it.
Block.
In his original script, a wealthy socialite named Margot hired the Enterprise to look for Dr. Corby, whom she greatly admired. In his script rewrites,
Hmm.
Roddenberry felt the role would better be filled by Corby's wife or fiance, which would play well with the Doctor's alleged intimate relationship with Andrea and his emotional coldness. Finally, he wrote the part to feature Christine Chappell, who was previously featured in The Naked Time and was played by Roddenberry's lover and later wife, Majel Barrett.
Hmm. Didn't know that.
Also, interesting to me that someone wrote the original script. You just hire the Enterprise to do stuff for you. Like,
I
seems
don't
a
know.
little odd to me. Um, but again, it's the very early stages of this show, and they're
Yeah,
still
they're
kind of figuring out how the
exactly.
universe works. Like something that
Exactly.
starts to be more established in later shows, later Star Trek series, is
Mhm.
that like humanity by this point has really kind of like absolved the need for money and acquiring personal possessions. It's meant to be
Yeah.
like a utopia style future. So
Yeah.
it interests. It's funny when you see things like this that just don't quite jive with the way that the universe has been portrayed.
Mhm.
But this is episode 7 of
A million?
700 plus now these days. Um,
100
last one,
plus. It's
700
okay,
plus.
700. I thought
I
you said
don't know. There's
100. I was like,
no, I said 7,
"Oh,
and there probably is more than that between the 80 of the original series. Next Generation had 7 seasons of 22 episodes, so that's
damn.
140 some,
So
more than
much
that.
content."
So did Voyager. So did Deep Space Nine. Enterprise had 4 seasons of 20 some episodes. Discovery has had a couple seasons of 13 episodes. So yeah, it's got to be close or more than like 700 episodes of Star Trek.
Damn.
Um,
Craziness.
DeForest Kelley, James Doohan, and George Takei do not appear in this episode.
Nope.
That's it. They're just not in it for whatever reason. Along with Errand of
Sorry.
Mercy and The Menagerie Part 2, this is one of only 3 episodes after the pilots which DeForest Kelley does not appear.
Hmm.
So we have 2 more episodes down the line where Bones isn't in it, but other than that, he's in all of them.
Hmm.
So those are your tidbits of episode trivia from
You're
Memory
welcome.
Alpha. Let's go to our spoilers without context. I don't remember who went
Yes.
first last time.
I don't
Do you want
either.
to go first or should I? I think I did.
Okay.
So, well,
Ow.
maybe not. I went first in the episode I just edited, which is like 2 episodes before that. So, if we followed turn order, this should be your turn to go first. So, we're going to put Kayla's spoilers without context up on the screen. Here they are.
Of course I yawn now.
Yep.
Sorry. Yes, so very unfortunate.
Yes,
Reminded me
very
so
sad.
much of the
Anyway,
line from Loki. Yes, very sad. Anyways,
yep.
Lurch, obviously. And I know we've used the Spider-Man one before, but I feel like we kind of have to use it anytime there's a clone now.
Yeah.
It is
I think I'm a
essential
clone
memeing.
now.
And,
There's
the
only
sex
2 of
the
me.
sex doll, Andrea.
Yeah, for the sex bot. Yep.
Yes. Mhm.
They're great. They're fitting.
Mhm. Thank you.
Um
Your turn.
here's yeah. So you'll see they were so fitting that Kayla and I both used Lurch and the Spider-Man meme.
Yep.
But
Did
I
not
had
consult each
the
other at all,
no,
once again. We never do.
yeah. No, we just before we record, we send each other the other's memes so that
Mhm.
we know what we did.
Mhm.
I chose to use Wile E. Coyote falling in the crevasse uh,
Yep.
because of
They kept falling
Rayburn's fall. Yeah,
in the
and then
crevasse.
the android. from Ex Machina for
Which I almost
Andrea.
used too, and I'm glad I didn't, or else we would have
Yeah,
pretty
because
much the
we
same
would
meme,
have.
and this would be really boring.
Yeah. It's fun for us when we send each other our memes and like at least one or two of the pictures is the same. We go, oh
Mhm.
shit.
Great
But it might
minds
not
think
be
alike.
so fun for you.
Yeah, exactly.
So that
Shall we
those
rank?
are your spoilers without context. Yes, let's rank the episode. Uh
Okay.
Ensign
Uh,
Kayla.
yes, I am going to give it a commander.
Okay, why are
It
you
was
giving it
very
Commander?
it's entertaining.
Okay.
It's, there's a lot of, uh, like, it's not the craziest, we've already seen this trope before, it's not the craziest of ideas, but it is damn well entertaining. So, yeah,
Okay.
that's
That's
pretty much
fair.
it.
That's fair.
Yeah, what about you?
All right. I'm also giving it Commander.
Oh, why are you surprised?
I
Sounded
wasn't.
like you were gonna either rate it captain or rate it ensign, so that's funny.
That's what I wanted you to think. And you had a look on your face. You're like, oh, did I give it the wrong rank? No, whatever rank you want to give it is right.
I mean, I know, but I was like, am I like not thinking this through? Like, obviously it wasn't the best, but like, I was starting to overthink it. My little brain was going
Nope.
so fast. So
Absolutely
fast.
giving it Commander. I'm
Okay.
tempted to give it Captain, but nothing that you must see that is
Yeah.
significant to the show happens.
Yeah.
But
Well,
it's a
yeah.
super fun episode.
Mhm.
Um, it hits everything you want in Star
Mhm.
Trek. There's some action, there's some philosophical discussion and like debate about like the immortality by putting brain in android body, thinking about like what could the
Yep.
future be like if you could live on forever, what would you do with that time. Yeah, I think it's a fantastic episode all around. I think it personifies similar to the naked time. We were like, this is what an episode of Star Trek is. If you want to show someone an episode, someone says, what's Star Trek? This would be a great episode to show them, uh, to give them a taste of what Star Trek is about. It does give a lot of character development to Christine Chapel,
Yes.
but doesn't really give any character development to anybody else who
No.
lives.
Kirk just gets to make out with someone else. It's fine.
But it's fun. It's a
I'm
really fun
jealous.
episode. I really enjoyed watching it. My page full of notes came from one viewing. I only watched this episode one time. I even sent you a text and was
Yeah,
like,
you're
I
like,
can't watch this a second
"No."
time because I'll end up with 2 pages of notes. Like
Yeah.
I'm cutting it here.
This is
And we've
definitely
definitely one of our longer
Yep.
episodes.
Yep.
But it was a lot of fun. If you
Mhm.
haven't watched this episode, why are you watching us right now? For one.
Go
Two,
watch
go
it.
watch it. It's good.
It's a good one. Definitely.
Um, so yeah, I think that covers it.
Yeah, next episode?
Next episode is Miri. IMDb says the Enterprise discovers a planet exactly like Earth, but the only inhabitants are children who contract a fatal disease upon entering puberty.
That sucks.
Yes,
So, are they all children? I guess we'll find out.
that's what it says. The only inhabitants are children
That encounter a disease, I'm guessing they die
who
when they do?
contract a fatal disease upon
Oh,
entering puberty.
fatal.
So,
I'm
yep.
stupid.
So
Yes, death.
they're born somehow,
Yeah.
uh, grow up, get this disease, and die.
I have so many questions. This sounds like an interesting one.
I
Yeah.
don't remember. I remember the episode, but and we kind of talked about that a little bit in the premiere chat. Like it's been so long since I've watched some of these that
Mhm.
it feels like I'm watching a lot of them for the first time. Because where I've watched
Yes.
Next Generation through so many times every couple of years, I just watched through all of Next Generation again last year. And when I say
Mhm.
watch through, I don't mean I sit down and like it's on my second monitor and I'm listening
Yeah.
to it.
Yeah.
So there's big swaths of stuff I miss, but I haven't watched the original series all the way through in probably more than a decade. So there's a lot of stuff that I don't remember.
Yep.
But yeah, so next week here on Trek Retrek on Geek the F Out, we're gonna cover Miri.
Mhm.
Don't forget to
Smack all the
God
things.
damn it, do all the YouTube stuff. I hate that I have to be I hate it. I
Smack
hate being the
that
person who
like,
says
hit subscribe, hit the bell icon, smack, 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 smack them all. Um, can follow us on Twitter and Instagram at GTFO channel. You'll get all the updates, and I'll try to send out reminders to try to watch the episode before we premiere, but it'll be Thursdays at 6 Pacific, 9 Eastern. Yeah, I think that's it, right?
that's it.
We got it all? Say
We
all
got
the
it all.
things.
We said all the things. We just need to do the sign off.
All
So
right. Have a good night, everyone.
that is not the sign
I
off.
know, I was getting to it. It felt weird to just immediately say it out of nowhere. Okay, I know what the sign off is. Peace and long life.
Live long. I don't know which hand I should this one.
I
Live
don't know.
long and prosper.
I can't even do it with this hand. Bye,
I can
guys.
do it too. I don't think there's a specific either one. Double fisted.
That's not going to be on there.